Hi, I'm John from Just Whiskey. If you like today's show, you know what to do. I think you're going to like today's show. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. Thanks so much for the Patreons that I do have. Much appreciated. As a Patreon, you have access to exclusive Patreon reviews, and I think there's close to 50 in the archives. So for $1 a month, you can have access to all of that. And I try to do one or two a month, although with the holidays, and we're going to be getting back on track. I've got a lot of samples to go through for my Patreons. All right, today we're going to be doing a very interesting show. We're going to be reviewing the much reviewed, debated, speculated, encapsulated Glencadam 17-year-old Reserva PX. 46% ABV, non-chill filtered, no coloring added, and I'm going to be talking about comparing and with the Glencadam 10 and an older bottle of Glencadam 15, which was Ralphie's Whiskey of the Year back in the day. And I have a little interesting story about this bottle. It's worth sticking around for, trust me. So this Glencadam 17-year-old Reserva PX, it's a Highland single malt, and it was distilled in 2006 and bottled in 2023. And limited edition, my bottle is, so a total of 4,188 bottles. The bottle I'm holding in my hand is bottle 3,511. Great purple color. This is dark, dark, dark. Okay. It does not say how long it was finished, but I am going to read the blurb in the back because it does give you some more information. Reserva PX Pedro Jimenez Sherry Quarter Cask Finish. Glencadam 2006 Reserva PX has been specially created by a master distiller from Glencadam's historic Dunnish warehouses. He has carefully selected single malt distilled in 2006 and matured initially in exceptional ex-bourbon American oak casks. The single malt in these casks have been expertly married, then finished in the finest Pedro Jimenez Sherry quarter casks from Spain, but the Andalusia, Spain. I probably didn't pronounce that correctly. Glencadam is a Highland single malt, and I don't want to say it's delicate, but it's unpeated, and it has a lot of gentle nuances. I think it was a little heavy-handed. I mean, these PX, I'm sure they're high quality. They also released an NAS, a non-age dated version of this Reserva PX from Glencadam, which I do not have. We're going to get on the review with this, and then we're going to talk about a little bit about Glencadam 10 and why it's even here, and Glencadam 15 and why that is here, with the cool story about Glencadam 15. All right. Yeah. I think you can kind of get where I'm going with this when I said maybe a little heavy-handed with the... I think PX goes great with something that's peated, even if it's lightly peated, that has some oomph to it. An Indian whiskey, a heavily peated smoky whiskey. I think you can do very well with probably a first fill PX, which I'm guessing that's what these were. I think they could have went with second or third fill with this, and we might have had a much different result. All right, the review: Glencadam 17-year-old Reserva PX. So on the nose, you get a slight mustiness, but not as much mustiness as I have gotten on previous PX finished. Usually I get a real musty, earthy. There is a slight mustiness. I would describe it as a slight musty cherry cough syrup. So if you took some cherry cough syrup and took the cover off and put it in a damp, musty basement for a couple of months, that's kind of what you're getting. Also, a little bit of maple and brown sugar on the nose. On the palate, it's sweet, syrupy, viscous. There's a very light peppery note. Black cherry. And the finish is medium with that lingering, very slight pepperiness. Again, this goes for about $145, $150 US, about $115, 115 pounds. Okay. Yeah. I love I love Glencadam 15. The 10-year-old is okay. The 15 is on it, is this particular bottle that I have here, which we're going to talk about. It's not, the PX covers up the complexities of Glencadam. It's a bit too heavy-handed. It's kind of very like a one-hit wonder kind of a thing. I've had this open for several months now, and you can see, I mean, I've just been sampling it here and there. I like it. It's good. Would I buy another bottle? No. My score, as it stands, 6 out of 10. So I'm saying it's good. Okay. But it's not a must-buy, in my opinion. And for me, it's not worth the money that I paid for it. I really had high expectations. What I did was I opened up this Glencadam 10, and there's going to be a cool story coming up about the 15. We're going to get there. The Glencadam 10, it's good. So what I did was I poured a little bit of the Glencadam 10 into this, and it did improve it actually. And you see I have a funnel here. There might be something happening on camera in a little bit with this and this and this and this funnel. But you're saying, John, is he going to put the 15 in there? Stay tuned. So, just by adding a splash of the 10 to this Glencadam, now I can tell with the Glencadam DNA shines through on this. It really does. Whereas it's really masked with the PX. Again, the PX. It's nice, but oh, what a shame in my opinion. But you know what? It doesn't hurt to try. Okay. All right. So the 10-year-old, yes. Now I'm getting the Glencadam DNA with a little bit of the PX in there. Now over here, this is the Glencadam PX with a little bit of the 15-year-old. And this 15-year-old is bottled in 2019. So right around the Ralphie's Whisky of the Year, I think, don't quote me, his was Whisky of the Year 2018 or 19 for the Glencadam 15-year-old. So the 15-year-old in the Glencadam 17 it's elevating it even more. But, excuse me. But the Glencadam 15 this bottle from 2019, I bought two of these in March of 2020 for $75 each, which was expensive back then. It was a little bit of an ouch actually back then. Thank God I bought two of them, and I just opened one for this show actually. The the first one is long gone, and I did the review of that. I've also reviewed the Glencadam 10, so check that out. And I think I've compared the two of them. This Glencadam from 2019, 15-year-old, and I believe it was not discontinued, but once Ralphie called it Whiskey of the Year, it flew off the shelves, and I believe it became unavailable for a few short years. Oh my God. This Glencadam 15, okay, from 2019. I can't speak for the later bottlings. This is amazing. This is a 9 out of 10. It was my Whiskey of the Year, I believe, 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4 years, 2 or 3 years ago. I believe I could be wrong, but I believe I called it my Whiskey of the Year. Maybe I didn't. I think it was the runner-up because I didn't want to be a Ralphie copycat. Check out my best of Whiskey of the Year. I believe it was a runner-up, but I disqualified it with that caveat. This Glencadam 15-year-old from 2019, it reminds me a little bit of Glen Ord, which is another Highland distillery. If you like Glen Ord, which is from the Singleton range, but Glen Ord is its own distillery, which is not, good luck finding an official bottling. You might find one, Diageo might have one like 40%, 43%. If you can find an independent bottling of Glen Ord, if you like Glencadam 15, oh my God. I can't speak highly enough about this Glencadam 15. I'm not going to waste. This is my last bottle, and I just opened it for this. This is going to last me, like Ralphie says, 5, 10, 15 years. It's that good. But I probably will dump this 10 into the 17. Okay, before I do that, if I'm going to do that, here's a cool story. And this is my invoice from Norfolk Wine and Spirits, which I'm a member of the Norfolk Whiskey Group. This was during COVID, and I ordered 2 bottles online and was hoping to get them shipped. But because of the situation, shipping was problematic. Vikram, the owner of Norfolk Wine and Spirit, all I ordered, this particular, I've ordered many things from him, and still do. This particular order was just 2 bottles of Glencadam 15. The total order came to $150, and instead of shipping them, he drove. He drove to my house on the Cape, over an hour away, to hand deliver this order to me, which speaks volumes of his character, and he's an incredible person, and so I just wanted to publicly share that. And at the time, everyone was afraid to come in other people's houses. I wanted him to come in, but he was like, you know what, when COVID's over, maybe another time. But so that's why there's no way I'm going to dump this 15-year-old into this 17-year-old. However, Live on camera, folks. Let's just do it, right? I've had this Glencadam 10 for quite a few years. I don't even know when this was bottled. Here we go. This was bottled in 2018. Okay. Live on camera, folks. We're going to see what's going to happen. It's going to be too early to do it right now. And this bottle probably won't even be able to fit in there, but we'll see. And you know what? And these Glencadams from 2018 with this 10-year-old and the 2015, this flock, little particles floating in here. So you know, whoop. Yeah, that's filled to the brim, folks. I got a little distracted, and there's still a couple drops left in here. I'll play with this off camera. Nudge me, and I'll tell you what I think after I kind of empty a little bit of this out. What happens here? I don't want to take up any more of your time. I hope you enjoyed this eclectic, but yeah, thank you. I could go on and on. Happy New Year, folks. Hats off to you all. Remember, it's just whiskey.